I'm Wesley Morris, and this is Cannonball. Today, put your paws up. Listen, it's a dark time in this country right now, and weirdly, also a dark time in pop, and maybe even for Taylor Swift.
I would say that you're right about that, too.
That's a different conversation. We'll get to it. It'll probably come on the show. But seriously, darkness, death and blood, skull, bones, a sharp knife, sharp teeth. And right now in pop music, it's all Carrie and Pig's Blood, it's Gladys from Weapons, Chappell Roan. She likes these gothic baby doll killer get-ups. And how many times, I at least have seen live in concert Charli XCX do this thing where she spits and then licks her spit back up during a set. Doja Cat just went on SNL and the vibe was real Beetlejuice horror picture show. Even Sabrina Carpenter, who is not somebody I associate with this moment of dark pop or dark costumed pop, I have seen her with the occasional severed limb. But you know whose children these little monsters are? They're Lady Gaga's. The woman perfected the performance of dark weirdo, and for me, the genius of her is that she figured out a way to take the entire life cycle of a pop star and compress it into about 4 or 5 years. But the question for me was, what happens at year 6, year 7? It's been 17 years now. And there are a lot of ideas there, and they haven't always cohered for me. And I'm seeing all these other pop stars running around with her ideas, and I'm thinking, what does she have? Has she been overtaken, usurped? Like earlier this year, she released this album, Mayhem. I thought it was like hearing the equivalent of a movie star walking around a mall, hoping somebody recognizes her. What am I supposed to do with this? But then my pal Caryn Ganz, who's the pop music editor here at The Times, she told me that something special was going on with Mayhem, the tour. I tend to do what Caryn says. So we went together to see the final night of the Mayhem Ball at MSG last month. That's Madison Square Garden. And I'm still thinking about it. This is the season to be talking about Lady Gaga, who fashions herself Mother Monster. And as usual with Caryn, that's C-A-R-Y-N, y'all, she was right. Something special is kind of going on with this show. So special that Lady Gaga announced another US leg of the tour for 2026. And right now, as I talk, she's doing this thing somewhere in Europe. So we're going to talk about it. Here's my conversation with Caryn. Caryn, welcome to Cannonball.
Thank you, Wesley. I love being told I'm right.
First of all, I got to just get something out of the way immediately. We saw this show. Ever since we saw it, have just got songs in my brain. Like Lady Gaga, I don't know what's in her stuff musicalogically, but there are a few artists where you just cannot escape the songs. They're not earworms. They're like anacondas. They just live in here and they just sort of sloop around for days and days and days and days. Right now, I've got Alejandro on the brain, and it is driving me nuts.
Alejandro, just let me go. You know how I feel about Alejandro. I think this is one of the best songs ever written. I get chills listening to Alejandro.
Oh yeah,
like legitimately on the subway here. And my gripe is that she did one verse and one chorus of it at the show. Okay. Alejandro deserves like a 2-hour concert. Yes. I could listen to Alejandro on repeat.
But, we saw this show together because you made me go. Mm-hmm. Or you lured me to going. You didn't force me to do it.
I insisted.
I was curious because, our pop music critic, Lindsay Zolads, wrote this wonderful review of this show. And I was kind of like, I'm going to go. And no, what I said was, should I go?
Yes. And I said, I'll buy tickets for the last night. We're going.
Just to sort of set a stage for our relationship to this artist. What's yours? Because it's been 17 years, Caryn. What's going on with the two of you?
Okay, so very early, I was at Rolling Stone when she first came out. Uh-huh. And her publicist was this amazing woman named Jenny Body. She's a legend. She was Nirvana's publicist. She said, I have a new artist. Her name is Lady Gaga. Come see her at Splash. And I was like,
oh, it's Splash?
At Splash. That's how early.
Well, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Man, New York has not been the same since that place closed.
No.
Had a lot of good times at Splash, let me tell you.
But I did not go because I said, Lady Gaga at Splash. Like, no. Well, huge regret.
Did you think it was a drag artist?
I don't know. I just thought like it sounded fluffy.
Okay.
Anyway, The Fame comes out. Wonderful first album. But then, and I'm into all the super poppy dance songs. You've got your Poker Face, your Just Dance. She then goes and she makes an EP, The Fame Monster, which has 3 of the best songs ever compiled in pop history in the same breath of each other. Bad Romance, Alejandro, and Telephone.
Mm-hmm. That's got one of my favorite Gaga songs on it.
Which one?
Teeth.
Oh, I know you love that song.
Yeah, I'll get to...
That's very you. Okay, so keeping it moving. I became obsessed with her. I thought Bad Romance is like one of the best modern pop songs ever. But I also was very obsessed about her relationship with Madonna. How much was borrowing, how much was homage, how much was stealing. So I'm a very big Madonna fan. You know this. Now your listeners know this. So I think people did know this. So obsessed. Then Born This Way arrives. And I'm not crazy about the song Born This Way. I'm not crazy about the song Judas. But the whole album comes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like a crazy arena rock album. It's lunatic. It is absolutely out of its mind. It has a song produced by Mutt Lange with a guitar solo by Brian May, which we will talk about. It is brilliant. And I became just like completely seduced by its like, I couldn't tell if it was serious. I couldn't tell if it was glam. It was, it's just, there's some of the best pop songwriting there. So I reviewed that album. I ended up loving it. Then comes art pop.
Go on. Oh, Caryn.
So much to say. I reviewed art pop.
Yes.
I liked some of art pop. It does not sound great today to me. She was trying to show that she had a relationship to high art that I think that she had inherently without having to demonstrate it the way she did on that album. So she loses me a little bit. Then she puts out an album called Joanne. She loses me a little bit more, which is sort of like a authentic album.
That's the like stripped down, this is who I really am.
Yes.
One of my middle names is Joanne.
I'm going to pull from my life. I'm going to tell you something meaningful about me. Okay. It's a little too much discography here. I'm just going to say my relationship to her began on an extreme high. It started to slip. It slipped a little bit more. We get to Chromatica. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. People are calling this a return to form album. And I feel terrible. You just asked about my relationship with her. I'm just going through her whole career.
This is their relationship, though.
The point is actually, it's a roller coaster. I've been up and down for a long time, but I've always believed in Lady Gaga that there is the kernel of an absolutely brilliant pop icon inside there. Because to me, pop star doesn't just mean songwriter. It doesn't just mean performer. It's like world building. It's spectacle. It's understanding of all of the relationship with the theater of it, with the character. The person has to be interesting. They have to have the musical chops. There's just so much that goes into it.
Right.
There aren't that many of them. But I always wanted to believe that she still had it and that like the truth of this was going to come back.
Okay. That was actually pretty succinct, honestly.
I had to stop myself.
Because, and your journey mirrors mine in a lot of ways. I wasn't reviewing the albums the way you were. But I think that she was kind of a performance artist in a lot of ways. She was somebody who was satirized. She appeared to be satirizing fame while also being interested enough in it. And she came at this really interesting moment in 2008 and 2009 where our relationship to fame was changing because technology was allowing it to change or encouraging it to change. This is the beginning of the iPhone, Facebook, the Kardashians. And here was this person who was kind of making fun of this fame hunger that the country was experiencing.
And sort of fetishizing it at the same time.
Yes, but that part doesn't... Well, the fetish, it's funny because in order to complete the performance, Gaga seemed to be taking this risk or walking this tightrope where in order to satirize the celebrity experience, I must become a famous person myself. And the thing I found scary about that was how much she meant it. Right?
No, she commits to every bit.
She was extremely committed.
Yes.
She would wear, the famous iconographies from this period. She wears some Carpaccio to the VMAs.
Yes.
And, she really is someone who understands the power, much like Madonna, of what it means to make an appearance, right?
Yes.
Like what it means to be seen, the power of the spectacle, what you should do when millions of eyes are upon you. It was kind of like a mockery of what made Madonna great. This is a student. Madonna is a teacher. Gaga is a student. She's learned a lesson. The lesson is, well, what would it mean to just kind of like not take any of this seriously? Oh, well, I'm going to this show. Are there all these cameras and reporters and microphones? I'm going to literalize this by just wearing actual meat. Y'all want a steak? Y'all want to eat me alive? Well, here, have some carpaccio. I found that funny, a little scary, because what else would she do?
Arrive in a gigantic egg that she claimed she had been in for a week prior.
But think about, like, this was a great moment for pop music also because she was at a vanguard for young, new at the time artists, right? She was doing something different from Katy Perry, Kesha, Rihanna, Adele. And I was really curious to see where this Fame satire project was going to go. But I guess the question is, like, what happened, right? Because the message got scrambled. But it's all in the surface of this, half-life of a pop star. By the time she gets to these duets with Tony Bennett in 2014, I was like, a tip of the hat to you, Miss Gaga, because you have officially lived 4 decades of a career in 8.
Yep.
It's not so much that the work itself was a joke, as much as it was she's managed to achieve something where by age, 32? She's 80 years old, right?
Is that a good thing?
She's working with a legend, one of the greatest voices in recorded sound, Tony Bennett's. But the question was, after that collaboration, where does this project go? Is there a new project?
Yeah.
Are there new ideas? And I think the thing that sort of turned you off, or at least I'm going to speak for you, confused you?
Turned me off.
Was that there didn't seem to be a story that was as compelling or interesting or as fascinating as what had been going on for those first 8 years.
It felt like she was trying to do a redo. That was me being frothy, pop star, whatever, but the real music and the true authenticity comes from my jazz work and from these stripped down songs that I'm writing, which is sort of the plot of A Star Is Born.
Yes.
Which made me insane.
It is about the border between the authentic and the inauthentic.
Yeah.
And what I love about even the problems that you and I have with keeping the story straight with where it is she's trying to go and who it is she wants to be is that there are always these dualities, right? She is artificial. Is she authentic? Is the artifice authentic, or can the authenticity be artificial?
Yeah.
But there's also this tension between not wanting it and wanting it, right? Between hunger and indifference. And she began, her career playing with not wanting the thing that she claimed that the persona wanted, being offered up as meat, right? But also understanding that, like, there was something hot in the tension.
I mean, but here's the thing. You don't really become a pop star by accident. This is like the work of exceptional struggle. And, it's sort of like, oh my God, she found herself so famous. Did she really want it? Yes. The answer is yes. I mean, she wanted it. The first album is called The Fame. And it's more, to me, it's more aspirational than critical.
You mean as an album?
As a concept.
Oh, I see. Yes.
A lot of people write about Fame early. I mean, she literally called the whole album Fame. And then a year later, it's the Fame monster.
Right.
So it's like you got a taste of it. But obviously, she still wanted more. I mean, she's one of the hardest working people in pop and show business.
And you can see that in the show. I mean, let's just talk about the show then, because I think that neither of us is crazy about Mayhem as an album.
I was not completely sold on Mayhem the album.
Yeah.
But I am beyond sold on Mayhem the tour.
Okay.
It's growing on me because the show is that successful.
Yes. Talk to me about going the first time knowing how you felt about the album.
I was open-minded, I want to say. You know, I've seen Gaga a lot over the years, and it's like, you cannot deny the voice. I mean, she has an absolutely incredible voice, but I have seen her be in different forms on stage, and I've never seen the version that like completely clicked, where everything was happening right for me. Like the first tour, I was like, these sets look really cheap, or like, I don't know, it just feels like underdeveloped. There's a lot of plot in some of these shows, and I'm like, there's too much plot. But I'd never seen the whole thing connect, and that is a complete difference. When you walk into Mayhem, you are immediately sort of wrapped into this world. It's very gothic. And dark and interesting. The set is sort of like, how would you describe it?
I mean, you know, it's funny because if you, like, what I would say to set up what is going on with Mayhem is, like, if you cut this woman, she would bleed Madonna, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury,
Michael Jackson,
Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Christina Aguilera, and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes. Okay, so that's pretty much what
and
it looks like.
And so the stage of this thing is, it's like you're looking at like a Gothic castle. Yeah. Right? But I also think that if you cut this show, it would bleed Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
I think we got to set the scene or recreate for ourselves what that night was like.
We had a little light trauma with the start time.
What time was it supposed to start?
So she has been going on very precisely at 8:30.
Why did she not go on the night we went?
Because, unbeknownst to us, but perhaps knownst to others in the arena, it seemed, she actually went to the VMAs. The VMAs were that night at UBS Arena on Long Island. So she was dressed for an award show, went to an award show, accepted an award for Artist of the Year.
Getting ready for the show, I thought how much it would mean to me to win this award tonight. And I cannot begin to tell you what this means to me.
Then had to come back, get out of whatever that was she was wearing. It was a giant black Gothic kind of thing, and into her show clothes.
I wish I could stay and watch all these amazing performances, but I have to go back to Madison Square Garden. Love you.
But we didn't know this was happening. There are people in the suites. They had TVs, and they were watching the VMAs.
They were watching the show!
Yes. So I didn't know this until the next day. And I'm the idiot sitting there being like, well, I have no idea why she's so late. What's going on? It was, I mean, this was Madonna-esque. You know, she very regularly goes on late. And I was like, this isn't like you, Gaga.
And lo and behold, it was not. She was being feted.
You know, I'll allow it.
I'll allow it too.
Yeah. So anyway, you asked what I thought when I walked in. I saw the set. I was like, this is going to be interesting. But the thing that absolutely crystallized it was the arrival. I am very interested in pop stars' arrival, how they arrive on stage. Do they pop up from the floor? Do they come out from behind? Are they flying in, you know, on a... Mariah has flown in on a sleigh, I believe.
I remember.
Yes. The curtains open and Lady Gaga comes on this absolutely massive, I want to say like 2-story tall set piece. And it is a giant red dress.
It's a tuffet. I would describe it as a giant red tuffet dress.
And she is atop it. And it is slowly
it's enormous.
Moving into the arena as operatic music is playing and everybody is sort of singing around her. And it's just like, you did it. I mean, it is the height of drag. It is so, I mean, RuPaul always says that, but like, it's so stupid. And she is absolutely genius. And I knew from that minute, I was like, oh my God, she's done it.
Wait, but Caryn, there's never been an image like this in any previous Gaga show?
Not like that, no. Chromatica was very cold and antiseptic and sort of architectural. It all really came together. When she came out on this thing, Wesley, I really almost cried. I could not believe it.
Caryn,
yes.
Now I'm going to be present with you at the show because, you know, there's a plot, which is basically 2 queens occupy the same chessboard, only one can win. The queen, of course, being the most powerful person or piece on the chessboard.
Yeah. I was like an art semiotics major. I cannot follow the plot of any of these things she does. I was like, what is happening?
But this one has a kind of coherence to me.
I mean, it does.
Because it's it's another one of these duality battles. And I think that there are more than 2 selves in this person.
Yes.
But I love that she edited it down to 2. This Tuffet comes out. Is the first song...
She does Bloody Mary.
Okay. I'm like, well, what is this doing? They've wheeled it out, but then this curtain around the cake tuffet, it parts. And inside this MF, is basically a corset. It's a corset.
It's a cage.
And in the corset are trapped her dancers.
There are 7 dancers trapped inside the dress.
In a corset. I mean, listen, Camille Paglia couldn't have done it better. She couldn't have done it better. Like, Gloria Steinem couldn't have done a better job.
Yep.
Simone de Beauvoir, take that.
No, it's an absolutely incredible image. And then they go into Abracadabra, which is like, a great song for the new album.
Yes.
And she staggers out of her own corset.
In an elevator, by the way, there's an elevator in the tuffet corset cake hat, red velvet thing.
So she descends and then emerges. She bursts through the cage with her cane, and she does some staggery cane choreography, tosses it off stage, carries on, and then returns to do one of what I've never really liked this song because it is just so, it didn't connect to me. It was purely chaotic, but it's Judas, which for some reason works when you're dancing with a giant cake dress. I don't know. And then she goes straight into Scheisse. Which is one of my absolute favorite Lady Gaga moments of all time. She literally is speaking fake German. It's not real, which we didn't know at the time. And then she is writing with her giant feathery pen at the Mayhem tour, which is sort of like a recurring theme. She's got a giant quill pen, and she is slamming it around, pretending to write German, and then she's walking back and forth on the very table on which she was writing. Anyway, the opening, 15 minutes, the opening act of the show, seriously the best opening act of a pop show I have ever seen. It is relentless.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And at one point when she was, we'll get there, but she does, the early part of the set does pull in a lot of her old songs. And you said to me, she figured out how to make this work now.
Yeah.
She figured out how to put these songs into context here. And I started thinking about oh yeah, that's very interesting. Because I never really thought about the idea of sculpting an actual narrative out of your songs like that. And having the old ones speak to the new ones in a way that actually is organic.
The best sort of spectacle-oriented musicians, Madonna being among them, figure out a way to incorporate the new material with the old material and have them all be of a piece. Beyonce has figured that out. I feel like the surprise of this show, I knew she had that in her. The musicianship is clear. But the satisfaction of hearing something like Paparazzi be reinvented as a funeral dirge, right? And it just deepens what already felt like a creepy and deep song in a way. Now it means a completely different thing to see her doing this. I'm calling it a funeral dirge because that's the musical style that it's been rearranged into. But it's kind of a wedding march the way she does it. She comes out and she takes this walk down the catwalk with this huge wedding train behind her.
But don't forget when she comes out, she's on crutches. There's a lot of lurching and limping and twitching in this show.
All the themes are coming together.
Yes. Being looked at.
Being watched, yes. Like her interest in darkness. Again, this is a show about death. It is a show about surviving death. It is a show about being brought back from the dead. It is a show about wrestling in death for more life. It's a show about being killed, being envied to death. There's a real mortuary sort of cemeterial dimension to this show.
But also with a caveat, which is very Madonna, which is that dancing is the thing that can be an antidote to death.
Right.
Constantly coming back, yes.
It's
Dance or Die is
right.
literally
I was going to say,
yes,
literally, a song called Dance or Die. Yeah, I love the way she's thinking about how the catalog can save her. Yeah. Right? The catalog
and
is
it literally can.
It truly can. But so what are the moments in this show that really stood out to you?
So she ends and she lands that first act on Poker Face. Which she turns into sort of like a dance-off between her personas.
The two personas, right? Yeah. The old lady in red and this princess witch figure who needs to die. She has killed this woman in white.
Is that the plot?
We're just working it out as we go, Caryn.
Because I'm picturing the second act, or when she's doing Disease, and she's wrestling with it basically in a gigantic litter box.
So you got all hot and bothered when they wheeled out that giant dress. I got hot. I didn't know I was going to get hot and bothered, but they wheeled out, there's a second prop that Act 2 begins with. They wheel it out, and I get one of my favorite songs from this new album. It's called Perfect Celebrity.
Yes.
And on stage, it's just, you called it a litter box. Shame on you, Caryn Ganz. It is a
sandbox.
All right, fine. It's a sandbox. They have buried Lady Gaga in a heap of sand. I think what is so beautiful about this moment is it is simultaneously ridiculous but meant. She means it.
Don't forget what else is buried with her in the litter box.
A full-ass skeleton.
Yes.
And some skulls. There are humans attached to those skulls.
Yes.
Living humans. But Perfect Celebrity is a song that sounds great on its own. But given the context of this sandbox and her commitment to sing, this woman could die singing this song.
I know.
She could just suffocate on sand, and she's just belting this song in this sandbox. It is maybe the performance of the night. There are many good performances in this show.
But you recall how the song ends. She's basically fighting to the death with the arm of the red character, which is thrust out in the sand and choking her. This was a feat of theatrical singing I couldn't even believe she was doing. She's literally being choked and fighting a physical struggle with this arm while she's singing.
In the sandbox are 3 moon men, which is the VMA statue. She's got her Artist of the Year statue in this sandbox with these skulls and skeletons. I thought those moon men were just digitally inserted into the box.
Oh, no, I knew they were real. Also, I believe they're moon people now.
Oh,
but yes.
Sorry. But also, this is what I'm saying about the camp.
Yeah.
She's doing this number that probably worked just fine without the moon people in it. And she's fighting the skeleton and trying to stay alive, but also
there's these 3 statues right over her head.
I love my moon men. I love them. I love the adoration. I love the respect.
Yeah.
And more camp, when the number's over, some trolly dancer comes out and snatches one of the moon men and runs off with it. It's just, I don't know. I just really, the humor, the earnestness,
Well, so that's the thing for me, right? Because to me, there's a lot of humor in what she's doing. I rewatched some of my videos from the show and I literally was laughing out loud. They are just ridiculous. But then sometimes I ask myself, is she really in on the joke? Because, I know that she is, but so much of the act and so much of the persona is this relentless sincerity, particularly when it comes to the fandom. Mm-hmm. And in interviews too, I've never read an interview with Lady Gaga where I've been she's a real cut up, she's very serious all the time. And it's really interesting because the humor is in there. It's in the music. It is ludicrous, ridiculous, draggy, campy stuff. But she seems to think that she has to bring, and maybe this is the Jackson, Maine, Alley, Star is Born conceit that's a construct over her whole career. She kind of feels like she has to be a serious artist sometimes. And I'm I just want to see the whole picture. And I feel like this show, I did see the whole picture. I'm trying, I'm putting the threads together of why I thought why it worked as well as it did.
This leaves to me I want to talk about Act 4. Our princess figure has basically, I guess she and the princess, the dead princess and the red crone have made amends, I guess.
I can't follow this.
She sends the white princess in a kind of gondola down to the end of the stage. And the songs that take her there are these rearranged versions of A Million Reasons and Shallow.
Yes.
Tell me something more.
And that's the song that transports her to the end of the stage.
Yes.
Where a piano awaits. And I didn't need to see her play piano. But again, it's kind of like Beyonce at the beginning of the Renaissance tour. I'm I will just watch 3 hours of this.
By the way, I do this really well. Yeah.
Yeah. when the piano comes out, I'm like, oh, right. This is another mode of this artist that she hasn't even bothered to show. She could have just spent the whole show doing this.
Yep.
But she sits at this piano and she does Edge of Glory.
Well, first, she does her biggest hit in the past few years.
Oh. Die With a Smile is the first song she does, and then she does Edge of Glory.
Yeah.
Seeing her do this song by herself with a piano on stage, transformative. This song is still in the top 10 as we are speaking, by the way. Still, after a year.
I had a hard time believing that it was as big as it is.
And then what did you see?
And then I saw an
You sent
arena
this
full
to
of
me.
people freaking out. And I was like, I have to record this so I can actually prove I saw it.
And that was the moment in the show where I saw the most phones.
Yeah.
I mean, there were phones everywhere in Madison Square Garden recording her singing a song that y'all already downloaded. But to her credit, she made it new. She made it mean something else.
It does sound like one of her power ballads when she's doing it, as though it came from her pen.
Yes. As though it's all her.
Yeah. Just one other thing. Did you notice this during the show? Like the constant threatening to put your hands up.
Oh, yes.
Like in a way that became menacing at
she
a
was
certain
like,
point.
put your fucking hands up. I mean, it was like, whoa.
It's a little intense, yeah.
Listen, put your fucking hands up, New York City. That's a kind of power that she has. And I think that what was so fascinating about, at least my experience at that show, was it was also a display of, I don't want to say raw power, I want to say refined power. This was a person who understands their relationship to the people in the room, but also their relationship to the music, right? And like what the music can be harnessed and repurposed for. Can you talk to me a little about like what Mayhem as a concert going experience is doing in relation to Lady Gaga writ large, right? Like, what is it correcting? What is it clarifying? What is it asking you to forget?
Well, it is interesting what she left out. I mean, for me, it was clarifying and just like it was, as I said earlier, I've had like a sort of roller coaster relationship with her career, but you know when you've seen a true North Star, I mean, like she's the real deal, and you just want her to get back there. So for me, it was clarifying in that it is literally, it's not an Eras tour. I cannot stand the idea that there's such a thing as an Eras tour that you need to distinctly, separate parts of your career.
That was just some costume changes.
I mean, it's a great tour.
But eras, no.
Yeah, no, but it's not that. No, but what it does is it brings together all the elements of the theatricality and the humor and the over-the-topness and then the understatedness. Like all the different Gagas were there. You had your on a gondola singing Shallow Gaga. You have your, on the top of the giant thing. There's also a giant skull we didn't even talk about yet.
My God.
Spins around, another incredible set piece.
This woman spends an entire act of the show performing in a giant skull.
And the giant sandbox. There's many things. But for me, it was clarifying into sort of like a statement of artistic purpose. Like the career is not over. We don't even know where she is in it. I enjoy what you were saying about her ability to see the future of her career, that there are many iterations of it to come. But to be a pop superstar making an arena spectacle, that's a whole other thing we didn't talk about, arena versus stadium. You can control so much more in an arena. It actually is intimate in a way.
I wanted to ask you about this. Because I get it now. But, as a New Yorker, you're a New Yorker, you're a real New Yorker. I was wondering about what it meant that she was doing MSG versus making us go all the way out to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
You're watching screens, when you go to a stadium show, no matter what. And Beyonce perfected that and elevated it and brought it someplace completely different. Like the screen is the art. But I really think that like a lot of the Gaga stuff is intimate in a different way. And, that's why part of what I love, and I've talked about this earlier too, is like the power ballads and the more rock-oriented part of her catalog, and particularly in Born This Way, at the end where she chooses to do like a piano song and and it's a quiet moment. A moment like that might not be able to hold the stadium the way that it holds the arena. And, so we saw The Edge of Glory, which is one of my favorites. But there's another song to me that is crucial to that set.
And
she played it my second night, which was You and I.
Oh.
So You and I, to me, is like one of the most clear showcases of the connection between the Born This Way era and the current moment in terms of theatricality and the way that power ballads have played a role in her career.
Yes.
And I think we need to talk about the 2011 VMAs.
Okay.
Yes.
Have not thought about that since then, and I don't even really remember what that is.
I came prepared to talk about this, Wesley, because it's important to me, because I felt it was a moment that really was a turning point that crystallized in her career about how far she was willing to push and then how the music could sort of bring it back.
Can we watch it? Let's watch it.
We can.
Yeah, her. Lady Gaga. She left me. She said it always starts out good, and then the guys, meaning me, I'm one of the guys.
She was so famous that they asked her to host the show that year, and she came out in a character that she had debuted in the video for her song You and I.
Yes.
One of my faves, obviously. And the character is called Joe Calderone, as sort of like her drag king, Andrew Dice Clay persona. Joe Calderone is narrating a conversation that he has had with Lady Gaga.
I'm not real. I'm theater. And you and I.
But then sits down, snaps immediately into theatrical cabaret rock ballad Gaga.
It's been a long time since I came around. Been a long time, but I'm back in town.
She takes off the jacket. It's like the white t-shirt is already rolled up at the sleeves. I mean, is there a pack of cigarettes in there?
There has to be.
Because she was smoking during the
Now,
bit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
So Brian May of
from Queen.
who plays on the song, arrives, and they cut away to a reaction shot, and it is Dave Grohl looking happier than he has been the entire night. Trust me. He's like, oh, thank God. There's a reason why I came to this thing. This, to me, is the full encapsulation of the entire Gaga project,
Yeah.
and she figured it out in 2011. This is a very long time ago.
Yes. So she's still at her peak of what I consider the project.
Yeah.
The fame, persona-oriented project. What's real, what's not. How far can I go with the performance art aspect
She's
of
pushing
my art?
the envelope at the VMAs. We're not
Right.
talking about a show known for its, like, high
Right.
art aspirations.
Right.
This is exceptionally bold. And I actually can't even believe they let her do this. I mean, this speaks to the power of her stardom at that moment, that she went to the VMAs and said, I'm going to do a drag king persona. We're going to perform one of my more famous songs with Brian May. I'm going to do choreography to it. And this is just what I'm doing.
And it just occurred to me, I'm an idiot. Like, the tension here for me is, and I'm not making a pun, but How Bad Do You Want Me?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a song on Mayhem. It's the song that sounds most like a Taylor Swift. It's the Taylor Swift song. And the apotheosis of that tension for me is applause.
I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause.
I'm here for the applause.
I'm here for the applause.
Yeah.
I'm here for the applause.
Here for the applause.
Way that you scream and cheer for me, I'm here for the applause, the applause, the applause. Give me the thing that I love.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this dramatic reading of applause.
I mean, put your hands and make them touch. And that's the last song on Art Pop, which is telling to me. Then we'll get to the second verse of that song, which to me is just the deepest shit.
Are you referring to the Coons line?
How did you know?
1 second, I'm a Coons fan. Suddenly the Coons is me.
I'm going to cry. Covering the rollout of this album in real time, I was at Rolling Stone. She did an event at the Brooklyn Navy Yard with a giant Coons. Do you remember this?
No.
And the album was coming out that night at midnight. I needed to be at home to review it. So I couldn't
I was
go to
living
this
in
event.
Boston when this album came out. I was still in Boston.
It's when you're a music journalist, you really just remember the pain of covering everything. Frank Ocean, when he was building a staircase, do you remember this on a video?
I remember that.
And I watched
yes.
him build a staircase for like
Yes.
7 hours. I was like, I'm going to kill him.
In anticipation of Blonde.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, but get to the second verse of the song.
Well, I mean, the second verse includes the line, 1 minute I'm the Coons fan, Suddenly, the Coons is me.
Yes.
I think it took me three experiences with that song to hear what the lyric even was. But then I was like, you know what? Here we go.
Yeah.
This is my new favorite person until it doesn't last anymore. But here's the whole project right here.
Yeah.
In this whole song, but also in this one line. And she could have picked anybody, Caryn. She could, 1 minute I'm a Warhol fan, suddenly the Warhol's me. 1 minute I'm the Picasso fan, suddenly the Picasso's me.
It had to be Koons.
She picks Jeff Koons.
Yeah.
The guy who makes ceramic Michael Jackson and Bubbles statues at life size.
And giant dogs.
The giant metal balloon dogs, right? The thinginess of pop artists, right? The objectiest of the pop artists.
Yeah.
The labor, right? The weight, the deceptive weight of a Koons, right? The illusory weight and heft of a metal balloon. It just looks like you could just pick it up and walk out of MoMA with it. But oh no, it weighs 3 tons.
Yeah.
Applause, on its own terms, is just, to me, it's top 5 Gaga.
Yep.
But there's also a real understanding of how this is gonna go. And, the idea that what art pop is also doing is crystallizing that moment where you transition from being a girl with a dream to a person where the dream is a problem or the dream has some costs.
Yeah.
But applause to me is I'm just going to tell you where I am. And y'all ain't going to believe me because y'all think this is an act. Y'all don't know what... I have tricked you so thoroughly into not being able to tell the difference between me and Joe Calderone that I'm going to give you a song that is just telling you what I want and you won't even think I mean it. That's who she wants to be. That's who she thinks she's been turned into. Suddenly, the Koons is me.
But what happens after this album cycle?
Well, that's when she ages into Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Right?
Because she pushed it. It's great. Art pop it's a beautiful disaster to me. It's hilarious.
Your review captures what a beautiful disaster it is.
There's one line in that review that I actually am proud of, where I said that it was art directed by RuPaul, Dr. Ruth, and Beavis and Butthead. Every now and then, I got a zinger. That was one of my favorite lines I've ever written. It's very true. But the audience, though, there's sort of a little bit of a reaction, and then she reacts to the reaction. Mm-hmm. And I was curious to talk to you about her fans and the reaction to the reaction and the way that she has navigated the fandom over the years, because, she is Mother Monster.
Yes.
Keep in mind that Gaga arrived a young person, right? But she was still Mother, right? Even as an exceptionally young person.
Wow.
A lot of that, I think she does a fair amount of borrowing and homage to the queer community. Obviously, Mother is a very common trope in drag houses, right. And just searching for mothers. I don't want to take us too far off course.
This is encores, ma'am. Keep going.
There's one, I saw Madonna's last tour 7 times because I was worried it might be the last time in the arena I had to do it. There was a moment she was describing during the AIDS crisis when she was visiting a patient in the hospital, and that no one wanted to visit these people. And, she really was on the front lines with the queer community very early. And that she crawled into bed with this young man, and he grabbed her hand, and he said, "Mother, thank you for coming." I actually cried in MSG when she was telling the story. I was just thinking about the relationship of fandoms to the motherhood of it all. Gaga has really, without even, perhaps she never probably knew that story, but she has taken her fandom by the hand that way. She just speaks so directly to them about caring about their needs. She knows that it's a huge queer fandom, and she dedicates large swaths of the show to it and stuff. Did you feel all that? I felt it during the show, but even when it wasn't as explicit, because in the past, she's done a lot more speechifying.
Yes. I think the power of that night was just how she didn't need to say anything. She does Born This Way, and there's part of the camp for me was the way she does it, right? She's like, let me talk to my queer community. You guys are special. You guys are one of a kind. You're wonderful people, but you already know that. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. And then she starts singing Born This Way.
It was a very fun, brassy version of that song. To me, it really felt celebratory. Like in the past, I have been a little eye-rolly about Born This Way. I find the lyrics exceptionally cringy. I do feel like it sounds like Express Yourself. And Madonna did play a mashup of the two songs on tour, and it was hilarious. See, that's hilarity and high camp. But I don't know. I just let myself let go and become part of the crowd for that moment, especially during the second show I saw her. And I was touched.
Part of it is, I feel like this iteration of Lady Gaga sort of makes sense for the time that we're in. This, awareness of death, the, insistence that it is around us, the awareness that it is around us.
That the stakes seem exceptionally high.
I mean, on the one hand, ha ha ha, she's performing an entire act of the show on a giant skull. I mean, for real, ha ha ha. But also, holy shit. But I think that this mother business, this awareness that there are real harms being done, I found her trust in understanding what we had all gathered to experience to be enough and did not need further comment.
Yes. And I think actually what you just said was so interesting to me because this is the most disciplined she has ever been. This is the most practiced and precise and crisp the show has ever been. And it's for the tour called Mayhem. It's so ironic that she has actually found her order in what would ostensibly be one of the more chaotic periods of her career. But I think that she's giving us the controlled chaos is letting us, when I go to a show like that, I kept telling people out, they're like, you're going again? I don't think I'm going again. I need the serotonin. I was I legitimately need it. I really feel something in that room.
Yes. I think the thing that makes her, this iteration of her perfect for now, is that we also have a really disturbing, I don't know if it's disturbing, but we're comfortable with grimness, with the cataclysmic, with imminent danger. It's meaningful to me that a song called Die With a Smile, it is a song that easily translates to a relationship between a fan and a fandom. I think that her conception of herself, to the degree that she has conceived of herself as mother, I felt the thing that you felt is the thing that I felt in that room, which is that she was here to protect. She was here for these 2.5 hours to say, you're going to here, you're fine. I'm not going to beat you over the head with how wonderful you queer people are. Y'all know. I am going to tell you anyway with one song though. But it was more the feeling of goodwill and safety and comfort in a show that was in no way comfortable. But there's also something really, I understood that this is a person, and this is part of the safety, right? This is part of the mother aspect. I felt like this is a person who would die on that stage for us.
Yeah.
Because she wants it that much, right?
I think she wants to give that much.
Yes. I think she's the pop star of everybody. Just name the 12 most elite pop stars we have. She's the one who has the fire that will burn you, right? It is both a beacon and infernal in some way.
I mean, I think Madonna shares the flame.
She's not one of the 12 people. I mean, current pop stars, right?
You're taking her out. Okay.
Of this generation of 45 and under, right?
I don't think Beyonce would die for us.
No, she knows better.
Yeah.
Gaga.
She has the guardrails.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel Taylor Swift wouldn't die for these people, for us. She wouldn't die for us.
No.
She's about to get a divorce is what's happening.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Not from Travis Kelce, but from the fans. 100%. A change is a coming in that relationship.
So you don't feel that Gaga is beholden to the fandom in any way, despite all the language about...
No. Beholden, no. Devoted. There's a shamelessness.
Yes.
You know, the showmanship is really about her saying, I'm yours.
Well, it's interesting. So when you said shamelessness, it's just, not that that's a bad thing. It just triggered for me the end of the show where she comes out makeup free.
Yes. I'm packing up.
You fear the show might be over.
I'm packing up.
Yes.
And Caryn's like,
no.
Go on.
Well, she hasn't done the Taylor Swift song yet, I think is probably what I said. And she is barefaced, just in a T-shirt, and she starts doing How Bad Do You Want Me? And she does the thing that sometimes pop stars do, which is like the peek behind the scenes, right? This is my makeup chair. These are my dressers. These are my dancers. We're under the stage. And she comes up from under the stage, onto the stage, to the Taylor Swift song, as naked as she has been all night.
Mm-hmm. Just boots, tights, the shirt, and the sock on her head.
To sing How Bad Do You Want Me?
That's amazing.
It really is amazing.
It's
because she could have ended on the high of Bad Romance.
But Caryn, for her to come out and essentially just stay on stage as her undecorated self is what I guess the way to put it. Her at her most raw and just like be having a ball. She is having so much fun at the end of this show.
She is. And she's not doing choreography. She's just kind of dancing.
Just dancing.
And she looks so happy. Yeah, but I mean, also you think about it. She arrives atop this massive dress cake corset thing. The most high camped up
like
drag.
The Queen of Hearts,
yes,
basically.
You possibly could imagine somebody being. And she ends it essentially as naked as she could possibly be. She's taking you on the whole journey of her whole thing. And it really does come together.
No, I mean, I think that, you know, this is really a show about death and dying, but also about what it means to be alive in the middle of all that death and despair. And just the idea of her walking up and down that catwalk, just dancing and clapping and singing some more, like not knowing when to end her own show.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always like 5 false goodbyes. You're like, well, she's on her knees. That must be it. Nope, she's back up.
Even when we do.
I didn't want this tour to end. I went 3 times, Wesley.
Caryn Ganz, thank you. We gaga'd. It was great.
We did.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I was going to make a pun, but
Make it. Make it.
I was like, we've already done The Edge of Glory. I'm like, is there another one? What am I missing?
We've reached the edge of glory.
We approached and then surpassed the edge of glory.
Oh, hanging on a moment with you.
The edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. The edge, the edge, the edge. You gotta finish it. It's like a thing.